rock till you fall asleep. It goes on and on.
These are Dane Letourneau and Brendan Clark from the band Gold and Shadow. They're our musical guests for this evening, and we're going to have more with them later on the show. It is springtime, and that means one thing: it is wedding season. And we have 3 segments for you, one with Kim Plumley about wedding planning, the other one is a cake tasting with Tara Keeping, and later on the show we have a beautiful, wonderful fashion show. Bob Fenty has a couple of interviews. One is about the anniversary of the Battle of the Atlantic, and the other one is about the Lantzville Rotary golf ball drop event. And also on the lineup, we'll introduce you to a wonderful camp that's taking place in Lake Cowichan later on in August. And Tally Campbell gives us an update about the City of Nanaimo's strategic planning initiative. All that and much more on this 25th edition of the show. The Salvation Army in Parksville serves about 400 families every month, and the need is increasing for more and more food. But that's where Shaw's Together is Amazing Fill the Food Banks campaign comes in. And to talk to us about the campaign and about the need in Parksville, we have Jenny Hansen from Shaw Communications, and also we've got Major Martin Keringham from the Parksville Salvation Army. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
So first, let's start with you, Martin. Let's talk about the need in Parksville. I mean, you know, one wouldn't think in a place like Oceanside, where, you know, you think there's retired people, you don't think there's poverty, homelessness, but the need is huge.
The need is huge there. There's a lot of people whom aren't noticed necessarily on the streets or in the downtown areas, but they live in tents out of the view, and those are the people whom come in to access services, and also people who are finding, just because of the economics at the time and not having money, much of the money that comes in goes to rent and hydro and utilities and so forth, and very little is left for food and those kinds of items.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of demographics do you see? What kind of people come to the...
We have all kinds, from seniors. We have a number of seniors who come and access the service on a regular basis. We also have the soup kitchen that helps out too, and gives some food on a regular basis. But all down to children who come in with their parents looking, and the parents trying to provide for those children as well.
Wow, that's great what you guys do. And of course, Parksville is only one of the many places all over Canada that, you know, has a need for food and donations, not only in Christmas time, not only in Easter, but all year round. And that's where the Together is Amazing Fill the Food Banks campaign comes in for Shaw. So Jenny, talk to us a little bit about the campaign.
Together is Amazing is incredible, actually. It's an opportunity to actually shed some light on the fact that our food banks are lacking. Shaw has taken the opportunity in the past to work with communities to raise awareness. In 2010, we actually raised £2.6 million worth of food and got those out to the food banks. We want to meet and or beat that this year.
That's great. And I mean, for Shaw itself, how important is a cause like this?
Oh, it's incredibly important to us. We're very community minded, for sure. We recognize the fact that over 900,000 Canadians utilize food banks nationally. Last year, 35% were empty. Shaw's jumping up to the plate. We've got to react. We've got to help out.
That's great.
Yeah.
And Martin, you probably have seen the effects of this Shaw campaign in 2010. So how effective was it for you guys?
Well, it's wonderful just to have the food to stock the shelves, because we operate Serve Your Own food banks, so that they come in and get the items that they need from there. And so it's wonderful to have those shelves full for the kids and for everybody.
And Jenny, I know that there's a whole bunch of events that are taking place that Shaw is putting on for the public to take part in. Can you tell us a little bit about
that? Yeah,
this?
totally. We're so excited about it. There's lots of events going on internally, a ton to raise awareness within our staff, but we have several events. For example, on the 28th, Loaves and Fishes is hosting a concert at the Christ Community Church. So all the proceeds from that concert, there's going to be blues singer D-Man there. All of those proceeds will go to Together is Amazing. The 29th, Thrifty Foods is sponsoring a barbecue event. So head on down to either, I guess, Brooks Landing or Longwood, and we'll definitely make a donation there, and that's going to really help as well.
The website, you said there's something people can click on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
The easiest, one of the easiest ways, if you can't get down to one of our events, is to visit togetherisamazing.com. On there's a YouTube clip. If you click on that, every unique clip is going to, Shaw's going to donate $1 and Campbell's will donate £1 of food. So it's really worthwhile. Just view that clip. We really encourage you to do that, for sure.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much, guys. And for those who want to know more info, again, the website is togetherisamazing.com. There's a lot of info there. You can find out more. You can participate in one of the events, and it's great what you guys are doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And up next, we've got Tally Campbell, who is giving us an update about the City of Nanaimo's strategic planning initiative. Tally?
Alright, thank you, Judy. The City of Nanaimo wants the public to be more engaged in the planning for our city to run and operate. To explain more on this, we're joined by Councillor Jim Kipp. Welcome, Councillor Kipp. What is this?
Thanks for having me, Tally. Well, it's a plan to bring efficiencies and effective thought patterns to our community. We want to focus the priorities of the city, the spending, and we want to have the public input on that.
So is this just another plan?
Not. Definitely not. This is actually the first strategic plan the city's done. And what this will do is tie together all of the plans that exist, our official community plan, our parks planning, master plans, all of those will tie under this. They'll become consistent with some of the philosophies based in our strategic plan.
So what kind of activities and events have you put on so people can get involved?
There's been a number of workshops, 3 of them held with both community groups, held with business groups, and held with seniors. There was teen workshops, 1 workshop and actually an information session with teens. And the turnout's been reasonable for these type of events. And again, we've heard from the public that they want to have input. We've heard that they want to be involved, and this is our methodology of going out to them and extracting what they believe are some of the key elements of our plan.
So how has been the input so far?
It's been very good in a number of fronts. The workshop, the business community downtown, probably the most disappointing was the South End one, but there's a community groups, a couple of them have neighborhood plans in place and that, and they know where they're sort of headed. The youth ones were interesting, and our blog spots have been phenomenal. I think there's over 2,000 hits on the blog spot now. So.
Awesome. So what are the next steps from here?
We have now a public workshop coming up on the 6th. We have our counselor workshops. You can still log on to the blog and have input. Currently there's a second survey being launched May 15th, so a web survey. Comes up with great information like our Survey Monkey that brings out a lot of valuable information.
And so you did say people can still get, do the survey and still get their input in there.
Yes, and then June 6th we'll be holding a community wrap-up. And that'll be we hope, a very large turnout to the meeting, going over all of the environmental scans, over all of the inputs from the different organizations. And then at the end of that, we'll move it forward to Council in July 6th. And Council will hopefully from that point work on applying the principles of the strategic plan.
So when will we get the actual outcome? Because I know I got an email a few days ago because I'm part of the blog, and there's some early numbers coming in and some early suggestions. When will the final outcome be out?
July 9th it's supposed to go to Council for adoption. So it'll be in July in that Council. And then from there, I guess it'll be the implementation and how we apply those priorities and move forward with the strategic plan.
And so what do you hope the outcomes of all this will be, Councillor Kipp?
Focused spending, taxpayer value, the input from the taxpayers, efficiencies, determining some of our core values. Those are the foundation values, fundamental values, the basic things we do. Leading our other documents and formalizing them into a common pattern. I guess leading towards a smarter, sustainable Nanaimo.
Awesome.
An even better place to live.
Yes, exactly. Alrighty, if you can find more information at the City of Nanaimo website, www.nanaimo.ca. We're now going to pass things over to Kim Plumley, who's talking how to plan a wedding. Kim?
Thanks, Tally. I'm so excited. It's wedding season coming up and lots of weddings coming up down the line. And today we have wedding planner Cherry Yillig-Kangas. I got it. I think I got it. And we're going to talk a little bit about weddings. And welcome today.
Thank you.
So tell me, what is a wedding planner?
A wedding planner is somebody who turns around and helps couples with their big events on their special day, from finding cake decorators to venues, to helping out from the beginning to the end.
Right. Well, and how long have you been working with couples?
6 years.
Wow. How long here on the island?
3 years.
Wow. Then why are people using wedding planners these days?
A lot of people have busy schedules that don't have time to turn around and to do all the stuff themselves, so they hire someone like myself to turn around and to help them out.
Right. And you're one of the few that are actually trained to be a wedding planner. You went to school for that, right?
Yes, I did.
Oh, awesome. Good for you. Is it first-time brides that come to you, wedding couples? Is it first times?
I have first-time brides and second time and sometimes third.
Okay. So what is it that they need? Like, what are some of the things that you help them with?
I help them find venues and their dresses and pretty much everything.
Wow. So you're sort of like the extra mom.
That's right.
Awesome. So what are some of the do's and don'ts for couples out there?
I would sit there and say, for brides especially, go and get slippers for the day of your wedding, because once you're done everything, you're going to want to put on a pair of nice soft slippers.
That's a good point. What else?
For your wine, for your tables, everybody is worried about that nowadays. Don't worry about that. Go with whatever it is that you choose to do on the tables.
So, I mean, it could be a punch, or it could be wine, it could be juice, it could be whatever is comfortable for you.
Correct.
Oh, good point. What else? What about grooms? How do they fit in all this?
Mostly nowadays, the grooms are turning around and going with whatever the bride wants.
That hasn't much changed, has it? Not much. So what are some of the trends that are coming up that we should look for here on Vancouver Island?
A lot of color, pop of the color, patterns,
Right.
a lot of candy bars for their weddings.
Wow. And how do children play into all this?
Children play a big part, especially if it's the first time or second time marriages.
Right.
They will attend the wedding a lot.
So we were discussing a little bit of some of the weddings that you're doing, and one of you were telling me about this really fun wedding that you're doing, and it's sad that the Canucks are off the playoffs, but this wedding couple is there. What are they doing?
They're going to be doing a hockey theme, and so it's the Canucks, of course, and yeah, it's going to be a huge wedding here.
Wow, so they're doing it at the arena.
That's correct.
She's wearing a jersey.
Yes.
Wow, so, and skates involved? Are they doing
no.
all that? No.
No skates.
No skates. That's funny. So now, what other trends? So are we looking at more white gowns, or more? What kind of?
It's all up to the individual of what they really want in the style that they have. It could be anywhere from white to the off-white.
Really, and the kids.
And some people are doing it with color now.
See, I wore red and black, so I went all out that way. And photography, you help find photography.
Yes, I do.
And venues. And what about catering? How does catering work, and how do you find those sort of folks for people?
Depending what they want. A lot of people right now are doing backdoor weddings because they can't afford the catering, so they're doing potlucks.
Well, that's sort of old school too, which is a lot of fun and really brings a family together. That's what weddings are about, isn't it?
Yes.
Very exciting. So now, what other things, you've been in Alberta, you're a wedding planner, now you're over here. So what sort of things, you go from Victoria to Qualicum, all over the place, right?
Yes.
Wow. What's one of your beach weddings?
Yes.
You like the beach weddings?
I love the beach
and
weddings.
hockey, apparently.
Yes.
That's quite funny. So I really thank you. This is Cherry. What's your website, Cherry?
Imagine 2 Creations.
And that's a Weebly one, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Well, I think that's it. And I thank you so much for coming. And we're going to head down the aisle and do a couple station IDs.
Hi, I'm Mike Harris of Harris Mazda, inviting you to watch Harris Mazda Fuel, only on Shaw TV.
Host Kevin Stobo exercises his own wit and charm as he takes on the challenge of losing weight. No matter the obstacle, he takes on each activity with zest and willingness to give it his all. He shows the viewers what all these healthy options can do for you. Get into the fitness craze with Kevin with each and every episode of
Harris Mazda Fuel, only on Shaw TV.
Hi, I'm Robert Davison from Top Shelf Feeds, inviting you to watch Top Shelf Feeds Pet Tales, only on Shaw TV.
An entertaining look into the world of pets and animals, whether furry, hairless, feathered, or even scaled. We cover them all. Tune in for tips on how to care for your animals or fall in love with the SPCA pet. Featured on every episode of Top Shelf Feeds Pet Tales, only on Shaw TV.
And now, back to the show, only on Shaw TV.
Hi, welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about, as Dunya mentioned earlier, about the Battle of Atlantic. And I have as guest with me today Brian Kirby, who is the Battle of the Atlantic Padre and the coordinator. And also joining us today is Commander Jerry Powell, who's the Chief Executive Officer, CO, sorry, of CFMETR out at Nanaimo. Brian and Jerry, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Jerry, tell us a little bit about the length of the battle that, as it happened and occurred over the time.
It's called the Battle of Atlantic for ceremonial purposes, but in fact it was a campaign that lasted the entire war, from the moment open war hostilities were started to the day it was victory in Europe. And for us, started with the losses of 4 Canadians with the sinking of the Athenia, the first convoy out in 2 weeks after the start of the war, and finished with the sinking of the Esquimalt just weeks before the end of the war.
Wonderful. And what was the date that it actually ended? What, the date of the war?
It ended with the end of the war, victory in Europe. The battle was essentially won by the middle of 1943, but it continued, and fiercely so, for the rest of the war.
And you know, it really is a significant battle, and I know, Brian, you've been doing this now for 9 years in Parksville, the Battle of Atlantic, to commemorate the service. Tell us a little bit about what you're planning this year.
Okay, this year the service is in Parksville, and we alternate between Parksville and Qualicum Beach with the 2 legions hosting. This year our service in that will begin inside, and we're going to have as our speaker this year in that Lieutenant Colonel Dave Robinson, and that from 407 Squadron in Comox, because the Air Force also is quite involved in the Battle of Atlantic. He will be our speaker this year for change, and following the service and that we'll go outside and we'll have a parade and we'll lay the wreaths, official wreaths, and we'll have a fly past by the Aurora and that from Comox that day.
Oh, wonderful. And you've got a bunch of Air Cadets and Sea Cadets, have you?
We'll have the Navy League Cadets, the Sea Cadets, and some of the Air Cadets from the Parksville, Qualicum area out on parade with us on that day.
Great.
Along with the few veterans that we still have left in that from the Second World War, and we invite all the members of the public to join us in that as we remember this very significant battle of the Second World War.
Great opportunity for a lot of people to go and participate. You talked briefly there, Jerry, about the Athenia, and that the terminology that I did in my research was the cruiser rules. Explain briefly, if you would, about how that happened.
Cruiser rules were largely gentlemanly rules of conduct of warfare, where you ensured the safety of the crew, allowing for their escape and safety after the vessel itself was taken care of. Unfortunately, as the war progressed and we had to go to open hostility, those disappeared and vessels were taken on with the intention of killing the vessel, and if the crew survived, it was all good things.
So the Battle of the Atlantic, Brian, covered a huge big area. How many different oceans from the south to the north, was it?
Well, it basically was the Atlantic Ocean, but it also included right up and that into the Gulf of St. Lawrence. It included all the area of the North Sea and
huge
around
big area.
Britain. A very large area in that, the Irish Sea. Yeah, it was a tremendous area.
If we can talk briefly, if I might, Brian, you've got some numbers there on how many ships. I have some statistics, which apparently there's a whole bunch of different ones that are out there. about 3,500 merchant ships, and you're saying, but that was totally of everybody combined. How many Canadian merchants were there?
Canadian-wise, and at our merchant navy, we lost 63 ships with 1,629 men and a total tonnage of 270,777 tons.
And how many Canadian warships?
We had 25 warships and 7 MTBs for a total of 1,278 sailors lost. And then we lost 145 aircraft and 543 airmen during that battle. Wow, and during the service in that, we actually read out all of the ships that were lost, the type of ship, the number of men, and where it was lost, and that as part of the service. And that's read out by a sea cadet, and then we have an air cadet read off the number of aircraft lost, and we have a merchant navy person read off the merchant navy information.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for coming, Jerry and Brian, to join us today. And I would encourage our viewers to please, on Sunday, May the 6th, venture out to Parksville, go to the Legion, and partake in this wonderful ceremony that commemorates this battle, because it is a very, very significant battle. And now, we're going to learn all about some yummy, yummy wedding cakes. Let's talk to Terry.
Thanks, Bob. Yes, with me here in the studio is Have Your Cake and Eat It Too, a mother and daughter team here. We have Brenda Dick and Tamara Colburn. Thank you for being here. I'm a wedding and event planner, so I'm excited to pick your brain because you're a fairly new business here in the city. You've just moved to your new location on Wallace Street. So how long have you been in business?
We've had our business for 4 years now. We've only been in Wallace Street for 3 months, so quite exciting.
And you're partnered with Bliss,
Gowns and Events.
Yes. Right. Yes, how exciting. Yay. Now, tell me your story. Let's talk about your story. We'll start with the mother part of the team here.
I've been decorating for almost 30 years. Tamara's dad and I had a bakery, and he was a baker, so I kind of had to make myself useful, so that's what I did. Taught myself how to do everything. And, yeah.
So did you start off designing the cakes, or you were more focused on the bakery part?
The designing.
The designing.
Yeah.
Wow. And then how did Tamara come into the story?
Well, I was just kind of brought into it, I guess, but I've been decorating for about 10 years now, and I worked for a grocery store to start, actually, and then when I had my first son, we decided to kind of go off on our own and do it this way. It's been great.
Nice. And so tell me, what kind of flavors you have? Do you have a list of different types of flavors?
Have everything.
Everything.
Everything. The most popular being red velvet, and that's what I was going to bring to sample tonight. But
that's okay.
Yeah, red velvet, cream cheese icing. That is the thing right now.
And that's for wedding cakes or for events?
Everything. Yeah.
And so, what other events? You name it, you do it. It doesn't matter
what. We do anything, yeah. From grand openings of businesses to baby showers, wedding showers.
And 100-year-old birthdays, because you did it for one of our clients.
Yes, we did.
Good. And so now with Bliss, now you have your new, whereabouts is it on Wallace Street?
It's on 208 Wallace Street.
Okay.
We have the cake shop and a cafe also, so you can come in and have a coffee and a treat. And being with Bliss Gowns and Events is just a perfect fit.
Yes, because you can go, it's like a one-shop, you can go get your dress, you can get your cake.
Yeah, and they do the planning, and they do the linens, the decor.
Oh, right, because you get all your decorations as well. So good. So why don't we talk about a little bit of the cakes? This is fondant?
This is a fondant cake, yes. The flowers are made out of gum paste, which makes them really hard and able to stand up like that. Inside, of course, this one is styrofoam, but I don't want to eat that one.
Because you have a lot of cakes on display, so
yes.
These are, okay.
Yeah, these are from the shop, the ones we have on display. That one there has got the real flowers on it.
Oh, they are actually real. Oh,
yeah.
I didn't even know that. Oh, gosh.
Those are, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And then this little guy here.
And this little guy is about 500 of those little tiny carnations on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it's also fondant.
And I'm wondering also, do you have to rent the cake, or do you have to come up with your own? Or
no, we have a lot of stands. The brides are just welcome to use it. We just ask for a deposit.
Oh, okay.
And then they get their money back. But it's part of the display, so we don't charge them for it.
Because I was going to say, you'd have to go to, I guess, Triple T or something like that, but you have display.
Yes, we have quite a few
plates.
stands, yeah.
Oh, nice. Good.
And this year, the cupcakes being really popular.
They are. Now, why is that? When did that happen? A couple of years back now?
A couple of years it's been like that now. It's just easier for guests to eat.
Help yourself rather than having to cut the cake.
Exactly.
They still have a little cake that they can
cake
cut,
on the top,
right?
traditional.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
And so,
what I'm wondering is that when you did your bakery, do you still have your first location?
Yes, we do. That's where I do all the baking.
Oh, okay. So you don't do any baking on site?
No, we have no ovens or.
Oh.
We still do all the baking at the other.
I need to check this place out because you've only been around for 3 months, so I need to go down and see. Okay,
Lots
so
of goodies.
Wow. And so can people still go to your first location or
no? No,
Okay.
it's only the other one. The first location is strictly for baking.
Oh, okay. So you bake everything there, and then but then you sit down and you do taste the good part, the taste
Tastings.
samplings.
Yeah, all the consultations are done at the new location.
Oh, nice. And that used to be where
Cool and Child.
Cool and Child was. Right. Okay, nice. And we're going to have Bliss afterwards. That's going to be doing the much
beautiful
anticipated,
brides.
yes, the wedding gowns there as well. So, is there anything else? Like, tell us. Is there anything else that you want to tell us about the cake designing that I'm missing out, or?
One thing we like to encourage is the brides being unique. You know, having something on the cake that personalizes them and their groom. Whether they're into like scorpions and Hello Kitty kind of thing. That's actually doing one of those this year. To a cowboy and a cowgirl on top of the cake. Just anything, just to personalize it.
So when they have the sit down with you and have the consultation, bring pictures or anything?
Pictures, color swatches, anything having to do with their wedding, and just sit down and tell us about themselves so we can get a better idea of who they are.
And so when they come back, then they can actually you can show them like before and stuff. Because I actually believe that as a wedding planner, that I believe that cake, because it is the special part. It is the celebration, the whole festive of it, like the champagne, the cake, you know. I think so. It's that extra added touch or whatever.
For sure.
So, and it's so nice because then it's such a happy industry to get into.
It is. Like, I mean, birthdays, children, yeah. I love to do the designing with the kids too.
Oh,
they come in and
with
they
the birthday
design,
cakes and stuff. Oh, nice, nice.
It's just nice to have a place where we can go and you can bring all of your ideas, put it into one cake. We're not limited to anything, so that's something that we like to kind of encourage brides to do. Is just, we know we love a challenge, so bring everything that you can, crazy ideas. Crazier the better.
That's right.
Well, I'm definitely going to check out your place and bring clients as well. So
Excellent.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much for asking.
Oh, absolutely. So we're going to take it back to Dunya.
Thank you so much, Tara. Well, yummy. I can eat all of these cakes right now, so please keep them away from me. But moving on, you know, springtime is not just wedding season, but it's also the start of the camping season. And there is a very wonderful camp that's taking place in Lake Cowichan in August, and it's called the Women's New Moon Retreat. To speak to us about it, we've got Verna Hall and Myrna Buckley from the Pacific Women's Circle Association. Welcome, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much for coming here. So first of all, let's start with you, Verna. So this is the 18th year that this camp is taking place.
It
right?
is.
So how, you know, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's obviously because of the name, the Pacific Women's Circle Association. It's a camp or retreat for women. It's more of a retreat really than a camp, in as much as, you know, you can sleep in a bunk if you want to, but it's women throughout the Pacific Northwest, from the United States, from Australia, from Ireland, have found the camp online, because apparently when it began there weren't a lot of opportunities for camping, being with women in a circle situation, and so it's grown over the years, and it's grown in terms of it's become known. Things have fallen off a little bit because of the economy. It's harder for people to move around.
And I know, I was checking the website, Myrna, and there seems to be a lot of fun activities taking place. Dancing, singing. Tell us a little bit about the activities.
There are. Camp is the highlight of my summer. There is so much to do. There's drumming for the advanced drummer, or if you've never touched a drum before. We rent drums every year. We have a slew of them. There's the mother drum. It's a beautiful big drum. It's sort of the heartbeat of the camp. We wake up to it in the morning, just it's steady, steady drumming. We have singing. We might burst into song waiting for lunch to be served, or we have formal singing groups sometimes. Canoeing, swimming, all the lake activities. It's a beautiful lake. It's secluded. No one else comes there. It's just for us during camp, during our week.
And it's at a wonderful time in August, right? So
Oh,
the
it's
weather
the
is
best
amazing at the
part
lake.
of the summer.
I know that. I used
Yes.
to work there. But Verna, what do the women get out of it? What's in it for them? I know it's a community building event, sort of. But
I think, speaking personally, it was an amazing opportunity to meet other women and discover aspects of myself that I wasn't familiar with. There's a lot of play. There's an enormous amount of camaraderie, of communication, of play, of song. But I think women take away a sense of peace, of reverence for nature, the ceremony to celebrate ourselves and women's stories, to be able to go back into our homes, to our families, to our communities, and have a stronger sense of self, have a safe place in our heart that's the sisterhood of other women.
Wow.
We're all very close.
That seems really wonderful. And can you give us the details, Myrna, of when it's happening and where exactly?
It's happening at Cowichan Lake Education Center on Lake Cowichan, and it's from August the 13th to the 18th. And it's a wonderful
And it's
time.
6 days, right?
Yes.
So 6 days.
days.
Wow. 6 days
Yes.
of fun and singing and dancing.
And
And
beautiful food.
that's awesome and beautiful, hopefully beautiful weather, I'm sure, in August.
We get meteor showers.
Meteor showers, that's right, in August, that's
yeah.
right. Thank you so much for being here, to the
Thanks for
both of
having
you.
us.
And for people who want to learn more, they have a website, www.pwcacamp.org. And up next, we've got Tally again, but this time he's talking about the NULT new calendar.
Thank you, Junia. That's right. Today I'm joined by Barbara Hurston, who is the founder of NULT. We're going to talk about the calendar a little bit later, but what exactly is NULT?
Well, NULT is a conservation organization, and we're interested in identifying and protecting green spaces for everybody in Nanaimo to enjoy.
So what kind of things do you guys do?
Well, we fundraise is a big one, and we help groups that want to work on protecting some properties. We do stewardship. We have a native plant nursery.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
And so when was NULT founded?
1995 we became official, but before that we probably worked for 3 years getting up interest and awareness. Yeah, so 95.
So 95 is when you were registered society?
We were official.
And so how many employees does NULT employ, and how many board members, if you know off by hand?
I'm hesitating because it varies depending on the kind of projects we're doing, depending on the funding we get, and who else is involved. So we have had as many as, I could be wrong here, 8, 9, and sometimes we're down to 2.5.
Exactly. So you're talking about projects. What are some big projects that are going on right now at NULT?
Right now we're working on protection for Nanaimo River, which is our water source. So that's pretty important. And we're working on Project NULT too, which is about making sure we have funding to carry on and do the work. So.
Good. And so now we're going to talk about the calendar. What exactly is this calendar?
Oh, the calendar. It is the only, this is my understanding, calendar that features scenes of greenery and nature around Nanaimo. And we've done it for 6 years. Last year, or this year, we had to suspend it, funding shortfalls and so on. Gaming Commission was one of the things. So we've only started doing it again for the following year because we have supporters who firmly believe it should happen. In particular, one fellow, Timothy Huntsman. So we're going ahead. We're going to have another calendar. We'd like to hear from people.
Yeah, so Timmy Huntsman obviously came on and he donated to kind of offset the costs and whatnot. But why is it so popular in this community? You know, if a calendar goes out, you know, oh well, calendar, but this one seems to be so popular. Why is that?
Well, I guess because it's Nanaimo pictures. people send them to their friends.
Yeah. So how can people help out? By submitting photos or donations?
We would love to have photos, and especially if they're areas that we have been involved in, but also other potential areas. So send your photos, high resolution please, landscape format, and we'd like to have them by the 24th of June.
24th of June. That your photos are sent to paul@nalt.bc.ca.
That's right, that's right.
All right, so when is this calendar coming out?
It will be out for the Christmas season.
And so how can...
A precise date?
Not too sure. It's
not too
in the
sure.
air still. And so where can people get this calendar?
Will be calendars at lots of outlets, including the Nalt office on 140 Wallace Street. The Bird Store always has calendars.
Awesome.
You can always check that out by going to our website.
Yeah. Alrighty, so we're going to do it now. Thank you for coming in, Barbara. For more information, you can visit the website at nalt.bc.ca. And now we're going to pass it over to a music interlude, followed by an interview with our musicians.
Wow, that was amazing, guys. I am joined by Dane Letourneau and Brandon Clark of the Nanaimo-based band Golden Shadow. Welcome to the show, guys.
Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for coming. So how did Golden Shadow begin?
Well, Golden Shadow is a project of mine. It began when I sat in my bedroom one day and I'd just gone on like the most gorgeous walk a man could ever go on. And I thought, what better way to express this than with music? So I formed a band. And I invited a bunch of guys and we got together in my church's rehearsal space underneath the Buzz Coffee House, historic landmark for us. And yeah, we just started jamming and it just had this great feel. Like the idea was to express through music and words kind of the beauty of creation. So.
Awesome, awesome. And now being in a band is kind of like marriage because you're always, touring together, you're jamming together, you're writing together. So how is that? How are you guys not like pulling out each other's hair? Have you guys gotten into any fights?
There's definitely hair out.
Yeah.
Both beard and top. Yeah, it's been crazy, man. It very much is like a marriage, and you've got four guys together in a room that get together in a room regularly and pick on each other and pick on each other's musical ideas and get very, very critical about. I mean, songs are personal things, right? You write a song, it's personal to you. So when someone picks on it, you're like, thanks, bud, but I don't really care. So it's crazy, but it works out. And actually, the coolest thing about Golden Shadow, perhaps, is the fact that we are great friends because of this band. And we've actually had like 9 people be a part of Golden Shadow in total. We've lost some members and gained some members. So Golden Shadow has just been the place where a lot of friendships have been formed. And it's really sweet because when we play a show as well, when we like take over the Buzz Coffee House and invite all our friends and family, it just feels like such a community event. So everyone's there, everyone that we love is there, and it feels like the band is not just this musical thing, but it creates community and it creates spaces where people can hear some tunes and interact with each other, and it's really beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite venue to play in Canada at all?
Duncan Grad Showroom.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
It's very intimate there.
Yeah, Longevity John at the Duncan Garage is prime of the prime.
Right.
He's the best. And he's funny. He's funny as hell.
And Brandon, how is your social media? How do you find, like, for bands to go out and go on Facebook or go on Twitter? What do you do? What do you focus on? How do you promote yourself?
I think it's super important for a band to be on social media, to promote yourself, especially because like the way our world is, everything's connected with Facebook, Twitter. So we try to just make funny posts or post about what's going on, just to keep fans or people who are interested in our band still interested, I guess.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I've got the Golden Shadow CD Oniro. It's available on the website goldenshadow.com and also on iTunes, so you can pick it up there. Thanks for coming out, guys. Again, you're on Facebook, facebook.com/goldenshadow.
Yep.
Yeah, so please take us away with a song. It's called Running Out of Room.
Running Out of Room. This is actually a great song for this show because this song is about conflict in a relationship, which is probably going to happen in a minute. So.
Perfect. Thanks very much.
I've been running out of room to get things ready. I've been running out of room to grow. I've been running out of room to get things ready. I've been running out of room to grow. I've been running out of room to grow. I've been running out of room to get things ready. I've been running out of room to grow. All right. High time we got bitter and abusive for the winter in a way we've never known. Don't you think agreements to a fate or lessen our degree of vicious temper could just spoil the fun? And don't you think it's high time we got bitter and abusive for the winter in a way we've never known, never known. And don't you think agreements to a fate or lessen our degree of vicious temper could just spoil the fun? Oh, I've been running out of room to get things ready. I've been running out of room to grow. I've been running out of room to get things ready. I've been running out of room to grow. Don't you think it's high time we got bitter and abusive for
we got lots of room left on this show, and we have with us today our Rotary segment, and we're going to talk about the Lantzville Rotary Club golf ball drop, and I have with me today Robert Gross, who's going to join us and tell us all about this wonderful opportunity.
Thanks very much, Bob. You know, fundraising is difficult and sometimes not much fun, so we've made it different. We sell 1,500 raffle tickets. And for $20, you get a raffle ticket, but anybody can do that. So what we do is we take 1,500 golf balls, match the number up with the raffle ticket, and once we're sold them all, after our golf tournament, we load them into the helicopter, 1,500 balls into the back of a helicopter, flies up over Fairwinds Golf Course,
wow,
over the first fairway, and from 100 feet up, lets them go. 1,500 golf balls hit the ground, and the closest 5 balls to the flagstick win 5 great prizes.
And what are they going to win? Who's that big winner going to be?
Well, this year, cash is king. We've got over $8,000 in prizes. So the first prize is $2,500 cash. And second prize, quality foods, $1,500 shopping card. Third prize, everyone go to Woodgrove Mall, $1,000 certificate. Fourth prize, 20 rounds of golf at Fairwinds Golf Course. And fifth, that helicopter. Take 3 of your friends up for an hour and tour Nanaimo.
I've been on a ride before in a helicopter. They're exciting. They
Yeah.
really are exciting. Yes.
And you know, something that's very unique about our auction, in addition to the 20, we actually give you $25 back because we give you $5 off coupons at restaurants in Nanaimo. So from Piper's Pub to ABC to Lantzville Pub to Boston Pizza and Ricky's, all your favorite restaurants, $5 off, good till the end of September.
So really the ticket is free. If you spend 20 bucks, you're going to get 25 back.
And who knows, you could win $2,500 while you're supporting Rotary, helping all the charities. And as a result of our fundraising, last year we returned almost $50,000 to the different charities in the community. So it's not just about buying a ticket, it's about you helping out your community.
Rotary really does a wonderful job in our community. Not just your club, but all 5 clubs do. And you know, you mentioned, actually looking at your website, that there's a 1 in 300 chance to win. You were saying it's better than 649? Really?
Well, if last year 1,000 people brought tickets, so we hope to sell 1,500 this year. And we have our website. We did a great video last year. Our film students who we sent away to learn how to film filmed the drop, and you can go to our website, LantzvilleRotary.com, and check on the YouTube and see how it worked in action last year. Yeah. It's very exciting.
It's a great little video, and we're really looking forward to it. And Robert, just to close off, you can contact any member of the Lantzville Rotary Club. They'll be happy to get a ticket for you for $20, and you could win that big prize of $2,500. And now I think we're going to roll over, and we're going to see some really, really smiling young brides, and we're going to have a fashion show of wedding dresses. And they're really going to be excited about this, because I know it was interesting because we had 2 ministers here earlier, and I was talking to one of the brides saying, we could have a wedding if you want right now. But anyway, let's go over to Dunya and talk about wedding dresses. Dunya?
Thank you very much, Bob. That's right. We could definitely have a wedding right here. Well, more than one. We can have 8 right now. So, you know, talking about weddings, we're back to talking about weddings with wedding gowns. And we've got the fashion show portion of the show. You know, a wedding gown is usually one of the first things a bride thinks about. Well, at least that was the case for me. It's very important. But there's so many gowns to pick from. There's so many styles these days, so many designers. So to help you pick the right one, we've got our fashion show today, and helping us with it, we have 2 people. One is Wendy Pugh from Bliss Gowns and Events. Welcome, Wendy. And we also have Dawn Negrin from White Bridal Boutique. Thanks, ladies, for being here.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much for having us.
I know everybody's so excited about this portion of the show. We've got beautiful girls wearing beautiful wedding gowns. I saw them in the back here in the backstage, and they look gorgeous. I wish I can model with them. Like I can't even pick one of these 8 gowns. They're all so beautiful. So let's start with you, Wendy. Talking about, you guys have more of the newer styles. Tell us a little bit about what's new, what's happening with the weddings for 2012.
2012 is all about lace, vintage, big, beautiful ruffles. You'll see a sample of the ruffles. They're big. And lace, the girls can't get enough lace. We thought that it had run its course, but not yet.
Oh, lace is always so popular with everybody. I guess, well, and we'll see that. Let's start with our first model, who's Stephanie. So Stephanie's gonna come down right now. Stephanie is wearing a beautiful gown. Oh, so gorgeous. Can you talk to us a little bit about that
I can tell you, this is one of our ball gowns. This is something I would call an informal ball gown. It would pack well if you were taking it to Mexico or Hawaii to get married on that beach. It's got the pockets, which a lot of brides love. I mean, I don't think they'll carry their cell phones.
I love that pocket detail. And also the belt part. It's
belts are really big this year as well. They embellish belts. So if your gown does not come with a belt, you can definitely order a separate belt to put on it. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Thank you so much, Stephanie. And now we've got Eileen coming down.
Well, Eileen is wearing one of our ruffly gowns by Private Label. And here's what I was talking about.
Wow.
Ruffles are big, as well as the beautiful embellishment on the waist. And it's a sweetheart neckline, which is still really, really strong with the girls. So we can't say enough about the ruffles. They're just big and beautiful.
And I noticed like it's different in terms of, there's different colors of white, different tones of white that we see. This one is more of the white, like
this is definitely the diamond white, yes. And this fabric is very big right now. Organza, the light, more sheer fabrics are making a strong comeback.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Eileen. And now we've got Sadie. Sadie's coming down with a beautiful dress.
Wearing one of our beautiful Sotero Midgeleys. This is one of their most popular gowns called Billy. You'll notice the striking detail on the neckline and along the back. This gown again, beautiful for a destination wedding or local beach here.
I love that detail in the back. It's gorgeous.
So, because you think that you're sitting at a wedding and that's what you're looking at is the back of the bride walk down the aisle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Sadie. Now we have Lindsay. Lindsay coming down.
Lindsay is in another Sotero Midgeley. This is their #1 selling lace gown, and we can see why. Very vintage, very antique looking. I mean, it speaks for itself.
Wow.
What do you think?
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And I love the ivory color.
The dark ivory. This is, and tulle is another huge, huge feature in bridal gowns for 2012. And so maybe the whole gown isn't lace, but the lace overlay is very strong.
And I know I've been watching a lot of designers come up with colored gowns.
Exactly.
Vera Wang, one of them. You know, is that another trend that's coming up? Dawn, maybe you could talk.
Absolutely. A punch of color is very popular, either in a sash or in the hair or an overlay, even some bright red shoes or hot pink shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. And speaking of, well, thank you so much, Lindsay. You know, we're going to move on to consignment gowns. We also have that here as well. People can, you know, it's another option for people who don't want to go with a whole new.
Absolutely. At White Bridal Boutique, we're a little boutique located in the heart of sunny Lantzville by the sea. And we offer another option, another dimension in shopping. We offer brides, we believe there that elegance need never be sacrificed for price. So we offer gowns that are no more than 4 years old. So they're very relevant.
New, yeah.
And lots of times girls, as Wendy will know, are buying a second gown for the reception, or you know, they're on a budget and they want something a little less, or they want a magnificent designer gown, and they can get that for a little less at White Bridal.
That's great. Well, we can check some of these out right now. We've got first, Jody is going to start us with the consignment gowns.
Yep, Jody is wearing a gorgeous gown in silk taffeta by Michaela. This is just a lovely, comfortable gown. I know Jody will attest to that. And so relevant for, as Wendy mentioned, a destination wedding or a local wedding. It has straps. Those are coming back. And the ruching, of course, is always popular at the waist, and very, very pretty gown, and still very relevant, and that's available at White Bridal.
Wow, very beautiful. Thank you so much, Jody. Next, we've got Emily coming down, and she's wearing
Here comes
one that I
Emily.
really like.
Yes, I love this gown. This just calls out to Fino on the beach to me, and another comfortable gown. It's a satin underlay, and over top we've got chiffon with gold accents on the bust. A beautiful veil, and Emily, if she was on the beach, she might want to get married, take her veil off, and then just be comfortable for the rest of the evening. It's just a lovely, comfortable gown, and can certainly fold up tiny for a trip.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Emily. Up next, we've got Delia.
Yes, Delia. Delia is in an absolutely stunning Justin Alexander gown. She's just glittering everywhere. It's
that's my type of dress.
That's a gorgeous dress, yes. It's a tulle with a cotton lace overlay and lots of sparkle. And Delia's wearing a gorgeous veil with that, and it's trimmed in Swarovski crystals. So beautiful, beautiful gown for Deli. That's for a more formal wedding, obviously. Yeah. And she's also wearing accessories by Sweet Rocks, which are jewelry, which is gorgeous.
Nice.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Delia. And finally, we've got Sophia, our last wedding gal for the night.
Here comes Sophia. Now, I love this gown, and Wendy
again.
from Bliss showed ruffles as well, and I agree, I concur. Ruffles are so hot the drop waist, and a girl that's got height and a curvy figure. I mean, there's nothing that beats it.
You can't go wrong.
You
right?
can't go wrong there.
No.
She's got the lace-up back, which is comfortable, and that ever-popular sweetheart neckline. Girls just go for that sweetheart neckline, and that's another one available at White. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much to both of you.
Thank you.
Sophia.
Thank you. Our pleasure.
And you know, thanks for being here and for organizing this whole thing. It's really wonderful to see, and the gowns are all beautiful. If people want to know more, can you just give us your addresses where people can find you? So
yes, yeah, Bliss Gowns. We're down at 208 Wallace Street, and buybliss.com. I'd also just like to say a quick thank you to Vanilla Alley for the girls' hair. They were so sweet to do the bridal hair, because it's a big task.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And Dawn, White Bridal.
We are located in Lantzville, in the village, on Lantzville Road, and our website is www.whitebridalboutique.com. So take a look at our website and come visit us. We'd love to see you.
That's awesome. Thank you very much, ladies.
Thanks again.
I just want to to wrap the show up. This is my last show. I'll be going on a mat leave starting next week. And I'm going to be leaving the show with good hands. I've really enjoyed doing the show with everybody, working with the volunteers, with the staff. And I'm going to be missing everyone very much. And well, if you'd like to get involved with the show, you can contact our volunteer coordinator, Melissa Hall, at melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. You can also view our show online on our YouTube channel. The address is youtube.com/Shaw TV Central VI. And you can also find us on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you so much for watching the 25th edition of the show. And now I'll leave you with more from Gold and Shadow.
While I stand watch, I take watch. Your small better than cheers. Compliance has followed from sorrow, mechanical and all. Heavy lifting, please. This could never be. Oh, creature, tell no. While I stand watch, idle by, count the freckles on your cheek. While I stand watch, idle by, count the freckles on your cheek. Why the sheer weight of the mattress and the bar spring. Now we are void of the charge that set us night out. Oh, creature, tell